Masterpiece X was designed specifically with new to 3D creators and aspiring indie devs in mind. It enables you to easily customize any asset from a growing community library of remix-ready 3D assets, truly making them your own. Over the next few steps, you'll remix your first 3D character, Max. We'll explore every phase of the 3D pipeline that MPX offers, and it will be easier than you think. But before we dive in, let's go over some basic controls. Grabbing is what you'd expect. Just press and hold the grab button to move the model in front of you. Scaling your stuff works like zooming on phones. You can just press and hold the grab buttons on both hands and move your hands together or further apart. You can find your tools in the floating panel, called the main UI panel. Each step of the process has its own environment space, and the panel will have the relevant tools for remixing in that step. Right now we're in the modeling mode. You can move panels in the scene to a more comfortable position by pointing at them with the laser on your right hand and then using the grab button to move them around. Now it's time to remix. Because we're in the modeling mode, we get to make changes to our mesh. A mesh is just a fancy word for a 3D model. Our mesh in this case is Max. We're going to manipulate our mesh so that it has a different shape, starting with the Move tool, which we have selected here. Try changing the shape of Max's head. Reach out and grab the surface of their head with the trigger. You can adjust the settings of your current tool with the joystick on your current hand. You can switch handedness by using the option down here. Try flicking the joystick up and down to cycle through the settings, and holding it left or right to adjust the value. If you ever make a change you don't like, you can easily undo or redo actions by using the joystick on your other hand, called your offhand. Flick it left to undo and right to redo. Now we're in the texturing phase. The texture phase is for adding color and materials to your model. In different modes we have different sets of tools. With the paint tool selected, choose a material from the default set on your swatch. Then aim the laser brush at the model and use the trigger to paint. If you'd like to add more materials to your swatch, you can choose the Import Material button and browse for other materials to paint with. The rigging phase is all about adding bones to your model. 3D apps need a skeleton, otherwise known as a rig, to animate models. In MPX, you have the option to draw your own rig, bone by bone, and you can always save yourself the effort and import a pre-made skeleton or even auto-generate one using MPX's machine learning option, but all our gallery templates have already been rigged for your convenience. So in most cases you can just skip this step. Now we're in skinning mode. Skinning is the process of attaching your model to its bones. When the bones move, the model moves with it, allowing us to animate the model. For your convenience, all of our gallery models are already skinned as well. Even if they weren't, you could use our auto skin feature to do most of the work for you. If you'd rather do it manually, you can select individual bones and use the Set tool to define what parts of the mesh each bone is attached to. Red means that this part will follow the bone closely, green partially, and blue slightly. Unshaded parts are not attached to the bone. We're in the animate phase now. Max has bones and they have been skinned. As you may have guessed, you can make custom animations using the tools provided here. You can start a new take, select a frame in the timeline, pose your keyframe, and add it as a new frame. You can do this until you have the exact animation that you want. But you can just as well choose from our library of high-quality pre-made animations to save yourself the effort. To do this, click on the Load Animation option. You can preview animations as they would apply to your model from here. Click one and watch Max move. You can play and pause the animation with the timeline controls here. Now that you've customized Max, painted, rigged, skinned, and animated, you are ready to export your remix. You can do this by clicking the Export button. Give a name that you see fit, then upload it to the public gallery to show off your work.